Hi guys, my name's Michaela. I'm a student dietitian, and this last week I've ate and trained like Pamela Reif. So I'm a big fan of Pamela's workout videos and I've tried quite a few, but I'd never tried her recipes before. So when she launched the Pam app, which has a little meal plan of what she's supposedly eating in a week, I decided that was a great opportunity to try it out and also kind of see what the nutritional value of those meals and the entire day of eating really is. Pamela has a variety of workout programs or weekly schedules that she uploads on her Instagram. So there's for different levels from beginners up to like 45 minutes, or if you prefer dancing or if you prefer like low intensity exercises, she has different programs that suit that. The one that I did was the one that was on the app, and it was supposedly what Pamela is training for that week, and that changes weekly as well, and it's kind of a mixture of all the different programs that she puts on her Instagram for that week. So there's a good mix of resistance and cardio exercises I found. I especially loved the dance-based cardios just because they're a little bit more fun than your regular burpee. I find what makes Pamela's workout videos so enjoyable is one, that she uses really great music that I actually end up kind of liking on Spotify as I go along if I find one that I like, and then I listen to it again later, maybe when I'm on a walk or something. And also her personality, I love that she's kind of always smiling at you, kind of giving you tips. Even in the videos where she's not talking, she still manages to communicate with you. And when she has guests on, obviously that's always kind of funny because they're talking back and forth as well. So that's what makes them so enjoyable and so fun, and you're kind of excited to see the next one because there is such a variety of videos that she has. So the main thing that I enjoyed about the recipes and the meal plan was the variety of foods that they were included. So I got to try different foods that I wouldn't regularly have every day, like salads and things like that. I also thought that it was great that they used very similar ingredients but in different ways to have different tastes and textures. So you don't have to do a big massive shop and spend loads of money. You can kind of buy a certain amount of food, just what you need, and make all these different delicious recipes. One thing I would say though is that the equipment that you need might not be what you have at home. Like you might need a food processor or a certain type of blender. You might have 2 or 3 saucepans going at the same time. So that might not be accessible for everyone, so make sure you check the recipe before you start. Also, it means that there's quite a bit of cleaning up after. Obviously, if you're making meals for the whole week, maybe in one go, meal prepping for a couple of days, that won't be as big an issue, but I did find the cleaning took quite a while. So obviously the meal plan is going to focus on healthy eating, whole grains, fruits and vegetables, lean protein sources, which is great, but it's not the most sustainable thing ever. I personally have very few days where I don't eat some sort of processed food or maybe even chocolate or something like that, especially in the evening. So it was a bit hard for me to stick to, and quite a few of the days I did end up having an additional snack during the day or in the evening, just kind of leftovers or desserts that my family were eating. There is also a lot of language in some of the recipe kind of introductions that mention clean eating quite a bit, and while there's no like official definition of what clean eating is, it does kind of worry me that maybe she's discouraging you from eating certain foods, like, I don't know, like white flour, white bread, dairy products. Like those kind of seemed to be her not clean foods, or adding things like maple syrup or dates seemed to be like a negative thing, which in reality, over the whole course of your day, over the whole course of the food you're eating in a week, I wouldn't be too concerned about that. And some of those foods, like your grains and your dairy, are going to provide nutrients as well. So they're not something that you'd, should be encouraged to cut out of your diet. I noticed something similar with organic food. I get the hint that Pamela definitely eats mostly organic fruits and vegetables, which is great for her and there's nothing wrong with that. But I guess the scientific evidence doesn't really show that there's a huge benefit to your health for eating only organic foods. And they aren't accessible for everyone because they're so expensive. So I think if you were to follow it and you didn't want to spend the money on organic foods, you can obviously substitute with normal fruits and vegetables and it would taste more than likely exactly the same. On average, for the whole week, energy balance was a little bit off recommendations. Protein was pretty much perfect with 14%, whereas the recommendation is 15%. But fat was a little bit high at 43 rather than 35. This is hopefully a lot of this is coming from healthier fats like olive oil and nuts and seeds, but there is quite a few recipes that use coconut and coconut oil, which would have saturated fat. And because the fat is a little bit higher, then the carbs is a bit lower. So it's 40% compared to the recommendation of 50%. I wanted to compare the calorie content of the meals for a week on average with my calorie requirements, keeping in mind that my requirements are going to be completely different to Pamela's and anyone else following the program. So my calorie deficit was almost 500 on average per day, which over the time of a week is going to lead to weight loss. Obviously, I didn't 100% stick to this program, and I did have extra snacks, and that's probably why I felt a bit hungry and needed those extra calories. So it's just something to keep in mind if you do plan on following the meal plan. Make sure you know what your requirements are, and then adjust portion sizes or extra snacks, different meals, based on what your body needs. Fibre-wise, the meal plan provided almost exactly the recommendation at 29 grams on average per day, whereas the recommendation is 30 grams. Protein, based on my needs, which again will be different for everyone, it was a little bit low quite consistently throughout the week. At 62 grams, which is great if you're around like 62 kilograms in body weight, but I'm a little bit bigger than that, so I need a little bit more protein. Especially if you're active, you're going to require a little bit extra as well. So for me, I would need to adapt some of the meals, maybe increase the portion sizes, maybe have extra higher protein snacks as well to make sure that I'm hitting my requirement. Before this week, I had just finished the Chloe Ting's Hourglass Challenge and my weight was 67.5. My weight stayed the same. It was only a week, so I didn't expect any major changes, and I had been eating food that weren't on the plan. So I also think my body looks the same, but there was a 1 centimeter decrease in my waist and hip circumference, but obviously that's only a tiny little decrease. Towards the end of the week, I found that my cravings for sweet foods and desserts was kind of less. And then when I continued using Pamela's recipes for another week, I did notice that I had maybe 1 kilo of weight loss. So I guess once you're following the plan and it is putting you in a calorie deficit, you will end up losing weight. Overall, I really enjoyed following what Pamela eats and trains for a week, and I plan on continuing to keep going with the exercises for the next week as well, at least. Maybe I'll change up again once Chloe Ting releases her next program. And the recipes are so good that I'm going to continue incorporating them as well. For me, it really helps to have such a good routine with the recipes and the meal plan and the exercise plan to go with it. I just feel like I really have good motivation to keep eating healthy and exercising regularly. I do mix it up a little bit, like even this week we had St. Patrick's Day on Wednesday, so I didn't fully follow the meal plan. Sunday we always have a Sunday roast as a family, so I didn't follow the meals again that day completely, but it's nice to be able to now look at the different recipes. There's lots more on the app that I haven't tried, so try and mix those in as well and substitute while still having some sort of plan or routine set out for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you learned a little bit about the nutrition or about the exercises. I'd be really interested if you've already tried out Pamela's recipes or her exercise, what you thought, so please leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and please subscribe so that you can see my next video when it comes out. If you have any suggestions on who I should follow next, let me know. And I have an Instagram if you guys would like to follow it. There's lots of healthy recipes there that you might want to try out, and nutrition facts too. So that is at Michaela Nutrition if you're interested. Other than that, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye!